Radioversity, the voice of Reichman University.
The Baseline. Stories from the court with Jonathan Rears and Nitzana Aron.
What's good, Baseline family? We're back today. Jonathan Rears here in studio with my co-host Nitzana Aron, and we got Joirdon Nicholas in the house today.
Nice to be here, man. Glad to be here, man. Appreciate y'all boys for having me out, man, for real.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
First thing we want to do is kind of introduce you, kind of where you've been. So first you started off at Montana, right? That was your first stop.
That was the first stop.
Transferred over to Stephen F. Austin, then Texas Southern,
Yeah.
then G League, then Canada, and now finally in Israel.
Yeah. You know, a few more other things, but that's for the most
For the most part, we got it.
Got
Alright,
the Mexico stunt. We got the Canada Summer League.
Yeah, after my rookie year, I played in Tijuana, Mexico for about like a month and a half. Then I went to Summer League. So, like, you know, that's probably the only thing y'all missed. But other than that, yeah.
So what we kind of do, as you know, is we just interview a lot of players over here, coming out, playing here, telling us about their stories. Every story is so unique, you know, and we're excited to hear yours. And usually how we start out is like way back then when you were a kid growing up, like what sparked that first love for basketball?
Man, it's crazy because, like, my first love was, like, soccer or football. I was really, like, a football player. And then, like, I really played basketball for, like, a favor to my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, she seen how tall I was and she seen that I was getting taller. So, like, and I don't think she liked football like that. So, like, it was a favor to her, man. Like, you know, she wanted me to play. I went out there and played, and, you know, I ended up being good at it, you know, and it was kind of like just natural for me. So, like, it was something I stuck with until I got to when I got to high school is when I stopped playing football. You know what I'm saying? Because she told me to pick one, and I was, like, better at basketball at the point, you know what I'm saying? So I you know, that was the reason why, though. That's the start of it, and then, like, you know, I kind of just got a love for it, and, like, now it's just something that, as of right now, I can't live without, you know. It's kind of like a stress reliever for me and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Did you start off with a love for it? And, you know, you said it, you played it for your mom, but did you start off kind of saying this is already really good, or were you just, I'm great at this, let's keep going?
I think it took me a little set because, you know, I'm a little kid at this point. So, like, I'm really just wanting to have fun, and football was more fun. You know what I'm saying? Until, like, I understood basketball, and then, like, you know, I'm from Texas, so it's real hot down there. So, like, then I was like, you know what, you know, it's not too bad being in AC and playing like that. So, you know, I ended up doing that, and then, like, that's when the love, like, when I probably got to, like, right before junior high, and, like, I'm playing in AAU, I'm getting friends, and I'm getting better in the sport also. So, like, I started seeing, you know, like, just, like, leaps of me getting better, and then, of course, you know, you just had a lot of people in me and my mother's ear, like, you know, you take it serious, you could do something with it, you know. So
had to be also a really tough decision being from Texas. All we hear about is Friday Night Lights, you know, the Texas football atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad for me because I didn't get to that part. Like, you know, the Friday Night Lights don't get serious until, like, you're in high school football. That's probably when it gets the most serious. Like, when you're in little league and junior high, don't get me wrong, it's serious, but, like, it's not like high school football, college and stuff. So, like, I didn't get to experience that. Did I always miss it? Yes, but at the same time, I was the tallest in my grade, or one of the tallest, so it was just like, you know, I think for the longevity of my body, it just wasn't going to. And I was also smarter at the point, so I just chose basketball.
So I was going to ask you gave up football in high school, and you were talking about AAU and stuff, and you're taking these leaps. So as basketball gets more serious, how was the AAU growing up and then eventually playing on your high school team?
It's crazy because, like, a lot of the basketball experts and they gonna get on me, but, like, I really didn't take basketball serious until I got back from my freshman year in college. Like, when I tell you I was going off of, like, raw talent for the longest, because, like, you know, growing up, like, I didn't think I was going to be a basketball player. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I I ain't know what I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And then it wasn't real until like I started getting college offers. But even then, I'm still just naturally athletic, naturally gifted. Like you know, it was nothing for me to make a layup or a floater or like a, you know, I was just so raw. Like I just played. You know, so yeah, I didn't start like just taking it real serious until like I got humbled my freshman year in college.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I was just like, yeah, I got it.
It's crazy you say that. You come back Montana, right? You play there freshman year.
Yeah.
3.5 points, you know, 30 games, 10 minutes a game.
Yeah.
You know? Next year, you more than double that. And you're playing 18 minutes now a game.
Yeah.
And you're moved to Stephen F. Austin. So for taking ball seriously after your freshman year, what does that mean? What did you do that summer that was different?
Like I really like just went to the gym and like worked on my game, rather if that was with a trainer or with my homeboys, like getting shots up. Like I just took it serious, cause like I always knew what it took, but you know when you're the best in your high school and you're getting the job done, you know it kind of doesn't just. And again, like I just wasn't taking it serious. Like it wasn't for real to me until it was for real. So like, you know, even getting the offers that I got, I was just like, you know, dang, I got this off of raw talent. Like, you know, let me just keep doing my thing. Like I was well aware, like I knew what my role was and I knew what I do well. So like it wasn't like I was trying to like, I would never go out there and try something that like I don't work on. You know, but when I got to college, it was kind of like, it was more structured, you know, it was more like, nah, this is what we want you to do. And then like I had a lot of older guys in front of me. So it was a lot of like, it was nothing but juniors and seniors. Like, so the two big men that were in front of me, one was a senior, one was a junior, you know, and then it was me at freshman and I'm a little kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm 17, 18, 190. Playing against guys that's like, you know, my size or a little bit taller and, you know, they're 250 and up. So it was a big like, all right, I need to get my body right. I need to work on my game. I need to get my shot right. So it was a lot of that. And, you know, even with me just like going off of raw talent, like I had good spurts in Montana. Like it was games that I didn't miss a shot and, you know, stuff like that. It was just like, you know, it was just, it's how freshman years usually go back then. Like, you know, some games you playing, some games you not, you know, and that was the situation. But, yeah, when I got back home, that's when I, like, locked in, got a trainer, started working out with my AAU coach, start hooping more one-on-ones and getting in the weight room and stuff. So I just took it way more serious.
Did that spark the decision to go to Stephen F.?
So, like, Montana was tough because, like, it was far from home. Like, I literally went from the bottom of the South to the top of the North. So, like, it was
What are you doing in Montana?
Man.
Just hooping?
Just hooping?
Man, I mean, it's surprisingly, it's stuff to do out there. But, like, yeah, really just sports. And, like, you know, like, you get close with the guys you're around because it's just y'all. And it's a real remote town. Like, there's only, like, downtown is only, like, 5 blocks. And then, like, there's only 3 bars down there. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, it's very small. So, like, you know, we would do a lot of canoeing, a lot of outdoor stuff, like, to be honest. Like, you know, we'll shoot clay pit. I don't know. It was, because, like, I am a little bit country. So, like, some of the stuff would align with what I would do back home, but it was so cold. Mm-hmm. I was like, yo. And then, like, since it was a remote town, like, it was expensive to get there and leave there. So, like, my family really couldn't come a lot. I couldn't go home when we had the opportunity. So it just wasn't. And then, like I said, like, you know, it just wasn't a good situation, I don't think, for the long run. Like, you know. So I end up leaving. I go to SFA. SFA is going, like, good. Like, I end up. This is back when you couldn't, like, transfer right away and just play. Like, you know, now they treating it like free agency. You know what I'm saying? I was in college when, like, all right, you transfer, you got to get eligible, you know? So I got eligible, and I got off to a great start. I was, like, coming off the bench, like, averaging, like, 7 and something. It was, like, 7 and I forgot, 7 and 4 probably, yeah. And then, like, I was around great guys. I was around Kevon Harris. He's with the Rockets right now. Shannon Bowes, he plays with MSB overseas and I think Italy. But TJ Holyfield, I think he's in Japan or China. And I was just around, like, I was around vets that were used to winning. So, like, that was great for me. And, like, I came in and I was a spark. So, you know, I was there for non-conference. You know, I ended up leaving the team for some other reasons. And then this is when now I'm at home. Now I'm back to, like, all right, I'm about to stop hooping. Like, I'm done. Like,
This is the summer?
this is during the year. I left SFA literally, like, right after non-conference. I think conference started and I might have played 2 games in conference. And then I end up leaving the team. I go back home. But I got to stay in school and, like, keep doing classwork. So, like, the year doesn't just not count, basically. So I was at home. Probably one of the low, like, you know, this is, like, just me being, like, you know, transparent with it. It's probably, like, one of the lowest points I ever been just because, like, I wasn't able to hoop. You know, I didn't know what was next. You know, I'm thinking I'm about to get a job and stuff. So, like, I'm back in Houston, still taking classes. And then, man, one day I just go to an open gym at Texas Southern. And it was around, like, I don't know if the basketball season probably just ended. But the school year was still going on. So I went to open gym and, like, this is when they still, like, they had just came off the year of having, like, Trey Jefferson and, like, Big Trey and, like, that good squad at TSU. And I went to open gym and I'm going against, like, a lot of alumni. I'm going against, like, 7-footers and stuff in there. And, you know, I was doing my thing and the head coach was in there. And I left that open gym with an offer. And, you know, I had other schools hitting me up, but again, this is around the time where, like, you know, if you're transferring, at this point, this would have been my 3rd school in 3 years. Today, it would be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was like, all right, are you a problem? Like, what's going on? So I had big schools hitting me up when I left SFA, like Tennessee, Virginia Tech, VCU, San Diego State, like a lot of Power 5 schools, but they would just ask, like, all right, why are you leaving?
Right.
And, you know, like, we could just never get around that. So, boom, I leave that open gym.
I want to ask, you go home, you know, and, like, you say, like, it's not a great point in your life, and because main thing, you're not playing basketball.
Yeah.
You know, basketball is therapy for a lot of us guys,
sure,
you know?
for sure.
And, like, a lot of guys say they put the ball down, it's like they're itching to get back on that court. Did you feel that specifically at Texas Southern, you felt more love for the game? Did that love come back?
It was like, all right, I tried to leave home. That didn't work. I was a couple hours away from home. You know, that I'm like, and then, like, you know, I'm still flirting with other schools, but it's like, you know, I know what's going to happen. Like, they're going to hit my coach up. I'm not going to hear back from them. So I'm just discouraged at this point. I leave TSU. They give me an offer. And, you know, at this point, like, I was just so, like, transparent and real with them. Like, I told them what happened. And it wasn't nothing crazy, like, but I just told them, like, this is what happened. This is why I left. This is, like, they didn't care about none of that. Like, I tell people now, rather if they look at it bad or not, like, you know, TSU gave me, like, I think in my mind, they gave me my last, like, shot. Because I was really about to just go get a job and just, I was about to go to, like, my plan was, like, let me just go to the oil field, stack up a couple $100,000, start a business. Like, that's what I was going to do. So, yeah, man, when they offered me, it was kind of like, oh, okay, like, and I'm in Houston, down the street. So now I'm feeling better, but I still don't know if I'm going to take it. But, like, in my mind, I knew I was. So, like, I had my homeboy, like, it's my bro to today, like, his name John Walker. He was leaving Texas A&M, kind of going through some similar things. Like, it just didn't work out there. And we were talking about it. I was just like, man, at this point, like, I'll commit if you commit. Because, like, I know if you commit and I commit, like, we Twin Towers. Like, we're the 4 and 5 or 5 and 4. And, like, they just got to worry about the guard position. So, boom, he committed, I committed, and, like, man, the rest was history. Like, I really, like, in my mind, I resurrected my career. Like, we made history there. We three-peated. That was, like, the first time It was done in the SWAC history since the 80s, since Avery Johnson did it at Southern. And that was the first time in Texas Southern history that, like, you know, you win 3 championships in a row. So we just made a lot of history, won a lot of games. You know, I was able to get to 1,000 points and to like 700, 800 rebounds while I was there. So I just did a lot while I was there, and it was good for me because it was kind of like, you know, I felt like this is what I was supposed to do. So, yeah.
It was shown all you really needed was an opportunity. You came 2 times all conference.
Yeah.
You know, you really broke out, averaging over 10 points per game by your senior year.
Yeah, for sure.
Becoming, as you said, one of the most dominant big men in the conference.
Yeah, man, like I remember like my last year, I was like top 30 in rebounds in the nation. That's when I knew I was just like, all right, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm doing it. And at the same time, while all this is going on, I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, people don't understand when you in your city and you from there and you know how to move and everybody know you and stuff, like it's a different type of love. So like that was what I fell in love with. Cause even my last year, like I could have went like my COVID year, I could have went Power 5. Like I had, you know, Washington, Gonzaga, like a whole bunch of schools, like, yo, but I was trying to go pro first. That's where I messed up at. I was trying to go pro. Because I ain't gonna lie, NIL is not, it wasn't what it was. At this point, they just giving people free merch. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I sign a NIL deal to Body Armor, they just gonna send me free.
I was gonna ask you, so first of all, you go in and straight into the starting lineup, right?
Yeah.
And you're killing it. 11 points a game, 7 rebounds a game.
That was probably my best year.
That was your first year in Texas Southern.
That was my first, it was 11-7, and then when we got to non-conference championship, I was averaging like 18 and 12 or something like that. Like,
and y'all are at a good point.
Yeah.
And then next season is NIL season.
But it's not how it was.
So tell me like exactly what you think is different now, and like what was that beginning stage of NIL for college players?
Like NIL right now is like I love it for the players because I remember what I went through. Like we were broke. Like all that winning we was doing, we were still broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, we made it look good and stuff, but, like, we ain't have no money. So, like, I love it for the guys because you do have guys coming from certain situations that don't have no money. They don't got no support at home. And then you got guys that, like they might be great college players, but they might not be good pros. Or they don't want to go pro. They just want to start a business. Like, so it's setting up guys for the future. So I love it. That first year, for the guys, like, it was good for guys that had a lot of media attention, but like guys like me, like, yo, like we didn't believe in it. And like when we did try to tap into it, it was nothing but like, all right, if you sign a deal with Ethica, you just getting some free draws. Or you sign a deal with Gatorade, they just gonna make sure you got Gatorade for the year, or like, you know, supplements and stuff like that. It was like it was only probably a few guys really getting a check. Now they getting checks.
The eighth man's getting a check.
Like, well, my numbers, I would have got a big check. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was like, man, I wish I just stayed, like, or I wish I just had another year in college. But like, I love it for the future generation because like I hope it's around.
By the third year, did anything change? Kind of.
Like I said, man, that would like, so the first year it got introduced was like my second to last year.
Right.
I believe.
Yeah.
So even my last COVID year, I don't think it was what it is today.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's still like they didn't find that loophole how they was gonna give. It was just like endorsement deals and stuff. So like we didn't believe in it. So it was like, man, like that ain't nothing. Like, you know, like we still getting the same bread. Like it ain't the same thing. And then literally like that next year, like my first year I left, that's when they turned up and they were like, all right, we're gonna start giving all y'all money. And like you said, even a walk-on can get 100,000. You know, I would have been cool with 250. I would have been cheap. Like they would have got me at a cheap price because like, you know, like I said, with my numbers, I probably could have got some crazy stuff. And we talk, like me and my teammates now, like me and Rondo, we joke about it all the time because we have a rookie on our team that he got to enjoy that fruit of the labor. Like, you know, Samaj, you know, he got to get paid off of that. So like, you know, I definitely love it for the future. I'm a little salty about it because we didn't get to
No, for sure.
Yeah, because, like, I would have loved that. Like, I would have been, that gives you a different type of mindset to, like, all right, I already got money, so if I want to chase the dream for X amount of years, I could chase the dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I still wanted to be in the G League or, like, chase the NBA, I'll still be able to do that because I got the money to do it. But it comes a certain point where you got to chase the money. Like, you got to go, all right, like, I got to take care of my family. I got bills. I got things that I got to take care of. So, like, regardless if I want to make this jump or not, this is something I got to do. So, like, that's kind of taking that option away from some guys and, stuff like that.
Speaking of wanting to chase the dream, and you start turning your attention towards going pro.
Yeah.
You're not getting the bag in college. It's time to start seeing how you take care of your family, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Walk us through what the first steps towards wanting to go pro is.
So, like, for me, like I said, because when I wanted to go pro, I didn't go pro, and that's why I ended up doing my COVID year at TSU. But my biggest thing was just finding an agent that I was about to trust my life with and put my life into their hands for the next year or two, And at first, I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Would you say that was one of the more difficult parts of it?
I think that's the very difficult part of it because, like, again, like, notoriety and, like, your name and where you come from is everything. So if you're not one of these, like 5-star athletes, or you're not one of these, like, big-time names coming out of college, you're not getting swept under the rug, but that's the time where you need an agent to work for you. Because, like, if you're not getting invited to Portsmouth or you're not getting no mini camps, how you gonna get the workouts? How you even gonna get the G League workouts? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, only way at that point is you actually paying to go to the ones that any citizen can go to. And, that ain't where you want to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not all the time. So, like, my biggest thing was, like, just finding an agent that, like, I trust. And, like, just the options I had at the time was just not, like, I had agents telling me, like, all right, we want you to cut your hair. Like, we want you to clean up your image. And I'm like, man, what you think I've been doing this last 3-4 years at TSU? I've been cleaning up my image. I ain't never get in trouble. I ain't never get arrested. None of that. You know what I'm saying? I graduated with honors. Valedictorian. I was sitting on the stage at graduation. You know what I'm saying? That tell you what it is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that means you one of the smart
That's better
ones.
than most.
So it's like, like it was one of those things that, like, it was kind of just making me uneasy. And then I had agents telling me, like, oh, like, we should just go overseas first and build a name over there, which I know guys that done that. You know what I'm saying? I literally know guys that did it opposite of me, and they went overseas first, and, now they getting to enjoy their fruits of the labor over here, or they, in the NBA or whatever. So, but I was young and I knew what I just had my mindset, and I don't regret it. Like, I had a great rookie year with LA, off the bench, and I was blessed to be a part of a coaching staff and a staff that, like, at the end of the day, they wanted the best players out there, and then, they wanted, they put me out there. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about it before, how right now you got Ronald as your point guard, but you had an elite point guard in Scotty in South Bay.
I've been lucky with point guards.
So first I want to ask, what's it like to have a really good point guard, and how important as a big man is that for you? And then second, specifically Scotty, how is it playing with him?
So, like, first, I think it's very important because, like, for me, the way I play, I don't need no play. Like, I play so hard and I'm so energetic. Like, I'm going to get 6 to 8 points off of that regardless. But the other half of it is having a good guard that knows how to get it to you in your spots, trust you in your spots, know how to throw you passes and lobs and stuff like that. So it's very important, and plays the right way. Playing with Scotty was very important because, it just showed me a different side of professionalism. Just the way he approached the game and, how he was. And, he's a jokester. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would be joking and getting on each other the whole time, but it's like when we step into those lines, it's like straight seriousness. And, like, he was one of the most gifted point guards and I play with a lot. Like, I can give you a long list of point guards that I love to play with to this day. But like Scotty was one of those guards that, you know, he could facilitate, he can score when he wants to, defense, like, you know, so like he just showed me like what it was, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that was a big part of my success too, because I had him, I had Damian Bow, like he like, you know, I think he just got off a 2-way with the Hornets last year. But like, you know,
Harry Giles.
Yeah, you know, him. And then I also had Shaq Harrison, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, and I was playing with Lou King, Quindarius Weatherspoon. So you talking about you putting a rookie with nothing but experienced guys, rather if they're in their second year, third year, to their fourth, fifth year. And, you know, like, I think it just helped me in a big way because, like, you know, it wasn't no time to feel sorry for yourself. It wasn't no, like, these are guys that were like, they're not going to feel sorry for you, but they're going to lead you in the right way. So, like, you know, it was a great experience, and I think it definitely is important just having a great point guard because, like, if they play the right way, you know, the sky's the limit, you know? Like, even with Ronaldo, like, you know, he's like all those things I just said. Like, oh, I thought that was mine.
You get my bad.
I thought I put it on D&D.
Oh,
but, you know, like, he can do all those things I just said, but, like, you know, he can score when we need him to score. You know, like, I done seen Rondo score 16 straight against Jerusalem out of halftime. You know, also Rondo knows how to throw me that lob. He knows how to get it to me in my spots, and he plays the right way. He could pick up 94 feet.
That's so important when you set that screen and then you roll, just like to be able to see the ball right there so you can just put it down.
And I got a couple guards, like even Gil, like I have like, cause like, you know, I'm the lob threat on the team. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We've seen it.
So like, how that speak?
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, like we're getting to it, like the chemistry is getting so good. Like all the guys are starting to know, like, all right, we're rather giving it to him early enough to where he can do something with it, or we're throwing the lob. And I mean, that's where I wanted it. I wanted it in my spots where I want the lob. So, you know, having guards that play the right way, I think is the most important thing because, you know, when you run into those guards that just worry about scoring, that's when you kind of like. Yeah.
You played with a great team that year. Very solid performance too, like 8 and 6, I would say.
Yeah, off the
that
bench.
year off the bench, you know, and you're playing like about 20 minutes a game. So that first G League year, it's really your first pro year.
Yeah.
Just talk us through that. You know, you just talked about your teammates, but what was it like for you personally?
It was amazing, bro, because like it would be times that like I'm on the court at the end of the game with 2-ways and assignments and like, you know, winning games and hitting, like, you know, I think I might have hit my first game winner when I was with LA. So like, it was just a lot of great memories, and it was good for my development coming from college and getting straight into that. Cause like, you know, it was just great for my confidence, and like I learned a lot that year just from like my teammates, how to be a professional, how to be on time, how to carry yourself, body language, because, you know, I came from a college where, yeah, all that stuff was important, but you might get a little bit more leeway with it. Or like, you know, if you're winning, you know, everything is good. But, you know, when you with the Los Angeles Lakers, whether if it's G League or not, like, you know, you got to be professional. Like you got to be professional at all times. And I've seen guys that didn't keep it professional, and guess what? They got sent home or they got traded. So it was like one of those things where like, because like I don't think people understand when you're in the G League, or even if you're in the NBA, but like when you're in the G League, you'll be on a team that stays like the same the whole year, or you'll be on a team where every other week they're bringing in new guys. Like I remember the Warriors, they had a different set of guys every other week. And even my team, we made changes. People got call-ups, people got traded, but I was on that team the whole year. So, like, I was just able to see, like, how to keep it professional, how to react to stuff. So I think it was good for my development just in the long run on how I deal with things and how I look at things and stuff like that, because I'm a passionate player. And, you know, sometimes it seeps out, but, like.
Shows on the court.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I think that's a part of what makes me great. So it's just like, yeah, you know.
Yes, sir.
G League being really your first pro opportunity.
Yeah.
What's it like bouncing around teams in the G League? What is that for a player? What's the mindset have to be for
It's tough Cause that was my second year, and you know, I did feel like I just never got in rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And you know, change is hard. I'm a guy outside of the court also that I don't like a lot of change.
Mm-hmm.
So like just learning different sets, learning different players, learning different coaches. You know, getting used to the city. I went from Atlanta to Cleveland, so I went from somewhere that's kind of like Houston to somewhere that like, okay, it's not like Montana. It's a city vibe, but it's cold. It's snowing. I'm slipping on black ice. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I got to get used to these players. I got to get used to, you know, whatever coach got playing for me in the playbook. So it's a little tough, but like, you know, for me, it doesn't take long to learn plays and all that. So like that part wasn't hard of it. I think it's just like just to getting used to like trying to actually get in rhythm. But again, like I said, I feel like I'm a player as long as I get like, you know, due time to actually do something, I'm going to do something with it, you know? So
Speaking of also just kind of the player you are in your development, you are a little bit of an old school throwback of just energy, athleticism, truly one of those dog type players. But we also see you start attempting threes a little bit and growing your game.
Yeah.
So kind of what went into that?
You know, I understand I won't. Hopefully I can jump like Vince Carter at his age. You know what I'm saying? But like I understand like that ain't gonna be forever. Mm-hmm. So like I know if I want to play longer, that's the next step. You know, and I'm not forcing it right now. I'm kind of like I just let it come to me. If I'm wide open, yes, I'm going to pull it. You know, but like I also like to do what I do at an elite level. So that's why I just stick to what I'm elite at. But like I do know like the 3-ball is next for me because like, you know, I mean, once I got that, honestly, it's kind of scary.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous.
One
like
of your last games in the Canada League, you went 1 for 1 from 3.
Oh yeah, because like you know, like it's like you know, like I don't have no problem shooting it. Like just to be honest with y'all, like I work on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a day that I don't work on it. I get shots up at the practice before practice almost every day. So like it's something I work on. But like, don't get me wrong, if it's me and I got my shooter in the corner, I'm going to make that one extra.
Sure,
like I have to be in the situation where like, all right, yeah, this is me.
So at the end of those 3 teams in that 1 year, you end up back in South Bay. So you also told me on the way in, South Bay is also like home. So I also want to ask development, because you said working on your game. Was South Bay also a better place for you to develop your game?
Yeah, and I just think the way I play matches their style more. You know what I'm saying? Just the type of player I was and just the energetic. And I just don't know what it was, but like I can go to South Bay today and I can have, you know, 20 and 10. Like my last 3 games with South Bay was crazy. So it's just like, and I have a great relationship with the coaches and the training staff over there and the GM. And like, you know, we did over the, you know, the year that I was with them and a little bit at the end of the year, there's nothing but love, you know? And, like, it is like a home to me. Like, you know, it's one of those places that I would never mind going to or going back to. And, like I said, it's just something about, you know, their system and how I play. Like, it's good for me. You know what I'm saying?
Your first time there, you played with Scottie Pippen, who's a small guard and great.
Yeah.
Now you're going there, and it's Bronny, right?
It's Bronny. It's Bronny.
Bronny James. Oh, Cole Swider. He's from Boston.
Cole Swider.
He's got a clip.
Grayson Murphy I was with. Like I said, my boy Jabbar.
Devontae Graham was there?
Yeah, he was there before me, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was there before me.
That's the thing. It's such a long roster because you said G League people are just coming in and out. But you also played there. I don't know if he was there at the same time with you, but with Stanley Johnson. Stanley
Johnson was there.
So
that was lit because he's a vet, you know, and that's the manimal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's that guy. So like just being able to play with him, learn from him was also just a great experience because like very professional dude, carries himself the right way, always has a smile on his face, but he's about business. So like, you know, you pick up little things from everybody that you come across, and just the gems that he gave me while we was playing together was like just amazing. And, you know, I love playing with him because like, you know, he's a little bit older, so, you know, we used to just make fun of him, like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, you know, like, he's a great guy, man, and, like, you know.
I was thinking about it before. I wanted to ask you specifically about Stanley because he came into the league as a phenom, right? And he went, and like, everyone knows him from the Pistons, right?
Facts.
And he played around the NBA, and then he did a lot of this up and down with the G League and the NBA. And then he did a year in Turkey, and then you play with him that next year in South Bay.
Yeah.
So did he give you any advice about the overseas? Did he tell you what it's like bouncing up and down the NBA and G League?
It's crazy because, like, I had a feeling that I was going to go overseas, but I just didn't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make my mind up. But we definitely had some talks, and, like, you know, I never was down to overseas. Like, I always knew that it was going to be something I was going to end up doing in my career. Did I know when I was going to do it? No. But, like, he definitely just told me, like, you know, it's different over there. They treat you good, but it's definitely different depending on where you at. And, you know, you got to produce. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to do your job. It's not like over here because, like, you know, in the G League and the NBA, it's so many weapons. It's anybody's night. Like, honestly. Like, you can have a quiet night, but you still did good just because it was Scotty night. It wasn't my night. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you look at those games that we were having. Some nights were Scotty nights. Some nights were Quindarius nights. Some nights were Luke King's nights. Some nights were my nights. Some nights were Castleton, Fudge. Like, we had so many weapons, you don't never know who nights it is. So he was just telling me when you come over here, like, you got to be about business. You got to, and, like, never forget what you're going over there for. So, you know, those are, like, just some of the quick gems that he was giving me and stuff. But, like, we definitely had our talks and stuff, you know.
Before we move to the overseas side of it, I want to ask you about kind of the Bronny effect. One thing that we saw was that G League teams, G League plays, G League games are being streamed at the highest of levels with incredible amounts of professional eyes because of Bronny. What was that like?
First, like, he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's cool. Like, you know, that's my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a great guy. But, like, you know, they definitely, you know, they love him. Like, he's like his dad, but 2.0, like, but he got the younger generation, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So just being in summer league with him, you know, those games were packed. They at the hotel waiting on us, packed, you know what I'm saying, trying to get his autograph. You know what I'm saying? They'll get our autograph if they couldn't get his autograph, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was a good experience just, you know, because, like, he got the aura, he got the stuff going on that his dad got going on. And then even to, like, the G League games, those were packed games. Those were, you know, and he's a good player. He's a great player. Like, he has a lot of upside. And, like, you know, everybody was trying to put, like, that pressure on him. And, like, you know, it's like, look what he's doing at the pick that he was. Like, you know, he's proving everybody wrong. You know what I'm saying? And, like, he's still learning. You know what I'm saying? But he's learning from the best. So, like, you know, I think he has a bright future and a long career. And, like, you know, just being around him and just seeing what type of guy he was outside of all of that and, like, how he carries himself, you know, that's what made me like him even more, you know? So, yeah.
Does that put more pressure on the other players?
Nah, man. Like, that's one thing that, like, it puts pressure on the person. Because, like, in my mind, like, yeah, I know all this pressure on Bronny, but, like, I'm still trying to go out there and do my job. Like, we all trying to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know? So it's like, yeah, I know all the pressures on him, but, like, you know, he can shoot a step back, make a miss. The crowd gonna be like, ooh, me, I gotta make a dunk. I gotta do something. I gotta do this to, you know, get a reaction or, like, for it to be good. So it's just like, you know, I don't think it was pressure on us. You know what I'm saying? So much to say. I think it was more pressure on him, but he handled it like a champ. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, he had everybody talking down on him, then he come out and perform. And just even, like, you know, you was averaging 20-something in the G.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, any league that's hard to do. And, like, the G don't pay good, but it's probably one of the most competitive leagues in, like, you know, right under probably NBA, Euro, and, you know, whatever your list is, it's right there. I think it's top 5. So it's like, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you are thinking now a little bit overseas, but you go to Canada for their summer league.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to Canada at this point, and like I said, I still don't, because I'm really basing off if I'm gonna get any mini camps, if I'm gonna go to summer league with a team, and really base it off of that. But I only getting some traction until late, and then, they end up going with a rookie because that's usually what they do and stuff. But at that point, like I said, like I was just in a different mindset. Like I kind of had to start playing basketball and like having something to show for it, So like that's when the overseas came into effect, and I was about to go to Turkey. You know what I'm saying? I was about to go to Turkey. That ended up not working out. It was out of Turkey or another team here. I do not remember the name, but it was another team. Because I ain't gonna lie, all these names are so familiar, and it just be confusing me. Like, but it was another team out here. They was trying to wait on something. I think they were trying to get like a guard first.
But you hear this other Israeli team, like moving on from Canada, you hear this Turkey, and then you hear this other Israeli team, and then Ramat Gan, the other Israeli team.
Yeah, Ramat Gan wasn't in the picture yet. I gotta tell y'all what happened for it to like really make sense. Like, It was just Turkey and the Israeli team. Was I paying attention to the war? Yes, but I'm going off of numbers at this point. Mm-hmm. Like I don't. You could have almost sent me anywhere if that number was right. Like I'm for real. Money talks. Like I'm being type me. Money talks. I'm telling you that right now. So
can't blame you.
Turkey offered me, right, and I'm like, all right, bet. We still waiting on this other offer from Israel because like I think they wanted to sign the guard first, then get me. So we told Turkey, like, all right, we're going to wait, though. We're still waiting on this other offer. Turkey automatically upped the money. So now I'm like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to make sense. And I'm like, all right, with all my incentives and bonuses, like, this is a six-figure deal. So I'm like, man, this is my first time overseas. Like, I'm like, everybody, all my people that been overseas to play overseas, they be like, once you go over there, that number don't get lower. You know what I'm saying? If you do your job, then no. So I'm already like, bet. It's in second division of Turkey. So, boom. We didn't even listen to the, because my agent was like, man, sign that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't even worry. Like, Israel taking too long. They trying to do some other stuff. I'm like, all right, bet. So I go to Turkey. I sign the deal. I leave Canada early. I sign the deal. I go to Turkey. I get to Turkey. And they don't want to. I'm in Turkey for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and everything going good. Like I was expected to kill that league. Like you know what I'm saying? Just like probably on some 20 and 10 stuff. Like just because it's only 2 Americans out there. I had a guard out there that it was American, and then it was me. So then I'm trying to get my physical done. They don't want to pass me on my physical. Like they just don't want to pass me. Like it was just something that the doctor didn't want to sign off on. Again, I'm from Houston. That has like probably the biggest medical hospital that you can go. I have gotten all types of tests. Like I done been through multiple physicals. AKA I done been with the Lakers, Cleveland, Atlanta. All had to do separate physicals. Mexico physical, Canada physical. So like I never failed a physical in my life. I get the turkey, and they don't want to clear me. And it wasn't the team fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the team fault. It was really just because I guess, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I guess in Turkey, like if a doctor signs off and something happens to you, the hospital is not liable. He is. I think it's something like that because that's how they were acting. So I'm there, not able to practice, not able to do anything. I'm just there. Not even able to get paid. I'm not even able. They don't even give me my advance because I ain't passed the physical. So then they try to bring me to another doctor, and we had to do some more tests. And while those tests came, like my agent was already like, it's something about this. It's not making me feel good. So I'm about to put your name back out there. Boom. Ramadan comes into question because whatever team wanted me at first already signed a bid because I signed the Turkey deal. Right. So it was that deal was off the table, but I guess they told Ramadan about me. Ramadan coach called me like that night. that I'm waiting on the test results from my physical. And he's like, yeah, man, like, you know, he's telling me about how he wants me, like how he like, you know, what his plans were and all that, like how he wants to play me, like how do I feel about this? How do I feel about that? You know, am I tripping about the war? And I'm like, man, all that sounds good. Like, hopefully we can just get the number right. So, you know, they offered and, you know, I countered and, you know, their original offer was already higher than my turkey though. But you know, business, man. You gotta. I want this though. Let's see what they say. So, you know, boom. They was like, all right, this is the only 2 offers we'll give you. It was like a 1-year deal and it was like a 2-year deal. And I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? But I had to feel that at this point, for this to happen, basically, if I would have passed that second physical in Turkey, I'd still be in Turkey.
Wow.
Cause like that's what it was. It was basically on that tip. Like, I rather gotta fail it and I'm going to Israel, or I pass it finally and I get to just stay where I'm at. So I end up failing it again because of the same whatever. And man, literally that night, I was packing my stuff out of Turkey. That next day, I fly back to Istanbul, fly to Dubai. I'm in Israel.
Yes. So like, you go to Turkey for a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
Turkey, Israel, very different. Sometimes in like
very different.
Very different.
I was in Ankara, so like.
Yeah. So tell us about Turkey for those few weeks.
It was tough because like, you know, they don't got like just no different types of food. Like, they just got what they eat out there.
And you only got one other American, too, right? One
other American. He's a little bit older. He has his family. His wife and his 2 kids is out there. You know, there was no AC. I'm from Texas. We have AC everywhere. There's no AC. And they were like, this is one of the because of global warming and stuff, this is like one of their hottest summers ever.
This is like your introduction to overseas.
So I'm tweaking a little bit because I'm like, yo, I'm like, there ain't no AC here. And I'm like, yo, like, I only got a washer. Like, well, I got an air dry. Like, I'm getting used to all, like, mind you, I might be a little bougie to the fact, but it's just like, I never went through this stuff before. So, like, everything was just new. So, and I wasn't able to practice. So I'm just sitting there. So, like, it was a little tough. And then as soon as I got to Israel, like, I didn't really get to see the city like that until, like, I went out. But, like, I ain't gonna lie, I went out my first night. Like, I went to AKA, I went to go get, like, a drink and some food.
It's a nice spot.
And I was able to see the city, and I was like, oh.
I mean,
this is overseas.
This is nice. And then I went to the beach, and I'm like, yo, this remind me of Miami. Like, I'm like, okay, like, this is something I can do. So, and then, boom, I go get my physical. I pass a physical in like 10 minutes. So I'm like, all right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is cool.
It's crazy because there's a lot of guys who come out here to Israel. And they also don't pass their physical at first. So I don't know what happened in Turkey.
I do not know what it was.
But it's funny because you have that shit experience and then you get here, first night, sit in like the biggest people watching bar in Israel.
Didn't know that though. I didn't know that. Like, honestly, this girl really set me up though. It was a girl that I knew out here and she brought me there. So she brought me to probably like the most lit place at that time. And I'm looking around like, you not slick. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know what you doing, but it was cool. Like, it ended up working out. And, you know, like I said, like, when I got here, I was just like, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise because like it went from like me being in like second division Turkey, which was probably somewhere I probably didn't need to be. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in first league Israel, and I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
This is a tough league now. You got
exactly
players from everywhere now.
And it's a good bounce league to higher stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's very respectable. And, like, it kind of like, say I would have played in second division, like, it took like a year or two off my journey of where I really want to be. You know, rather if that's back in the NBA, Euro League, you know, Champions League, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, or just being the highest paid over here. Like, so like it was a blessing in disguise, man. And, you know, I just look at it like that.
And you've already come in and played well. Your first game at 8 points, 9 boards. Like, you already came in and said, I'm a dominant force.
Yeah, for sure. See, look, that was my fault. It should have been better. Like, I got in foul trouble, man. And, you know, it was, but like, you know, I definitely hold myself to a high standard because, like, to me, I feel like I'm a double-double guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Night in, night out. And,
you say foul trouble.
Yeah.
How's the reffing been here in Israel for you?
You know, I don't know if they gonna see this or not, but you know, like it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the stuff that they do call is like, all right, like, you serious? And then the stuff that they let go is like, yo, you should have called that though. Like, you know, so but it's more physical. Don't get me wrong, that works in my favor a little bit when it comes to rebounding and stuff. So I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't dislike it. My bad. I don't dislike it, but, you know, it's definitely an adjustment because, you know, they got refs out here that are kind of grandfathered in and stuff like that. And
how's the conversation with them, like on the court?
See, my thing is I don't need to talk to them at all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, you know,
I know
Smart, very smart.
But
some guys want to talk to the ref all game.
I try to, but like I said, I'm so energetic. I could be asking a question, but just the way I'm approaching them, they might take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the other day, I got slapped in the face on the rebound. I'm trying to go talk to the ref. I just had too much energy for him, and he ain't like it. So, like, and then, like, he tried to, like, tell me to come talk to him again, and I'm like, I was trying to come talk to you. Like, you know, he was like, come talk to me. I was like, I was. You know what I'm saying? So it's an adjustment, you know, like everything else. Like, the refs never been the same anywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the G, you know, like in the G, they're great refs, but, you know, some of those refs coach in the NBA too.
Right.
So my thought process is when they come to the G, like, that's when they get their bullshit off. You know what I'm saying? And then when they go to the NBA. Nah, for real, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I done got some calls, like, you know, I watched the NBA game the next day, same ref. He letting that go. Granted, that's an NBA player, but, like, still, like, it's the same, you know? So, and then Mexico, that was trash. That was trash. Canada was bad, too.
Jeez.
Because, like, you know, when you get in those type of leagues, it's like, they don't.
Let anyone ref.
They're going to call it the way they want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So even out here, like, you know, I love the physicality of it. Don't get me wrong, just because, like, you know, you have more leeway, but it's not bad.
I was gonna ask physicality and just game flow, game style.
Yeah.
What do you see different between here, the first league in Israel, and then G League in America?
I will say it's hard, bro, because, like, my coach likes to play fast. So most G League teams and NBA teams like to play fast. So it's really not that much of a difference. But I will say, like, Israel is a fast league. It's an up and down league. It's not slow. Like, I thought it was gonna be slow. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like on some Germany. You know what I'm saying? Type of deal. But it's fast, man. And like I was saying, y'all, like, it's not a lot of plotters in this league. Like, a lot of the bigs that you'll see across the league might be built like me. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, but it's us. And I think that's just basketball as a whole. I think guards are getting bigger, bigs are getting a little bit smaller, and that's just how it's going across the world.
Small ball game.
Yeah, because, I mean, if I can rebound better than a 7-footer and I can guard 1 through 5, what would you rather on your team? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I can play longer. So it's just like, I think
switch onto a guard.
I can switch 1 through 5. I can, you know what I'm saying? I done had 2 games this preseason, but 2 games, 15 boards. You know what I'm saying? What would you rather? And I could play for longer stints. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you get to playing them 7-footers, they can only play X amount of minutes before, all right, coach, like, it's time. You know?
Also, it's a little, you know, chicken or the egg, but you're seeing a lot of the NBA players come overseas to here, and you're seeing the influence that they have on the game.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, but I also see the influence that, like, European players have on our game.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because they go, you know, you'll see a European player go over there and they play at their pace. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't do all that speed up. They'll play that. And then you see guys coming over here and we're playing fast. So I just think it's all basketball at the end of the day, but, like, I love the transition because it's just like at the same time, like I'm still able to play fast, but like now I'm in more opportunities and more situations where like I do need to come slow down. I do need to make the right read, and so
there's been a lot of guys who come here and they're like they played in like 8 different countries, 9 different countries, and they always say Israel is like one of those leagues that is most identical to America, G League, NBA.
From what I've seen, the speed it is, like because like it's fast, man. And I don't know if it's just my coach and how we play, but like just even the way we practice.
We're seeing it like season after season. It's getting faster too.
Yeah, and it's fast. Like
it's cool.
I like it. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you start getting slow and you start like, I'm not saying it's bad basketball, but it's just like it's more stagnant. Like everybody's there. You know what I'm saying? Like you need shooters for that. You need certain type of players for that type of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because like I have the type of coach. If we can get it in transition, we can get it in transition. If not, then pull it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got some coaches, they want to run a play every time. You got a lot of coaches that put in 50 plays. You got some. My coach, love him to death, and I know he got more plays to put in, but we ain't got a lot.
Y'all run a lot preseason?
See, I got here. We run a lot, but not like you would think. Like we're not running without a ball. If anything, he's making us play a lot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we're playing like 3-4 games in a practice, and that's not even including 3-on-2, 2-on-3, those drills. Like we got a drill where it's like 4-on-4-on-4, and the team that's on offense goes for a minute straight. We do that twice. Then we get into like games to 12, down back like 3 times, like up down, like you know what I'm saying? And I'd rather do my conditioning like that. You know what I'm saying? Rather than you putting us on the line and just running suicides like we not
high school.
Yeah, bro. That's running for fun at that point, so and I hate that.
You've been here for a month and a half now.
Yeah.
About off the court, what have you liked about Israel?
Like I said, man, like good food. I'm a foodie, man. So like that turkey stuff was bothering me because like no diss to turkey, but like all they had was like the kebab stuff, like you know what I'm saying, and like the whatever they eat, like that's all they had. Like every restaurant. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but every restaurant, that's all they had. Mm-hmm. So like I come here, I ate some Jamaican food one day. I got a lot of good burger spots, chicken spots, like fish. Like I like different variety of stuff, and y'all have that like in Tel Aviv. So like just being here, the beach, you know what I'm saying, the weather, you know what I'm saying, like y'all do have some beautiful women out here, like everything, like just the whole what makes normal people comfortable in the city, because I'm from a big city, you know what I'm saying? So like say if I was like 2-3 hours away from here, I might have not been as comfortable, you know what I'm saying? But like me being close to a big city, having all these like access to different things and stuff that I normally have access to when I'm home makes it way easier to fall in love with. And like I said, like you can't get mad at the beach. It reminds you of Miami. Like it's like a mini Miami, just without all the flexing and stuff. So it's just like,
but
I like it.
After being in Turkey for 3 weeks, you come here, and you, like you said, you get off the plane, you meet up with your friend, you all go out to a bar, and then like you meet up with your teammates at some point within the next few days, and all of a sudden, now you're sitting with another 4, 5, 6 Americans on your team, and a ton of Americans all around the center.
Yeah.
So did you get a little bit of like a sense of home getting here after Turkey?
It felt like me, like I'll be honest, like nothing feels like home. Like Houston is like, I love it, like you know what I'm saying. But it was definitely a spot like when you get somewhere, you could be like, oh, I can see this. I can see myself staying here. I can see myself being here. Or I can see myself living here. It was one of those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, a lot of things make home. Like, your crib makes home. The people you're around. So, like, the people I'm around, as far as, like, my American teammates, like, I have younger guys like me, and then I got older guys. It ain't no in between. Yeah, like Darian, Drew, Adam, even though they're Israeli, and then even Isaiah. Let's talk about Americans. Isaiah, Drew, and Darren, like I said, they're all older. Isaiah don't got no kids, but Darren and Drew got kids and like wives and stuff, and they out here. Me, Isaiah, Samaj, Ronaldo, Joirdon, we got another guy. We all younger guys. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are older than each other by a couple of years, and now like I think Joirdon and Isaiah are like 28, 29. I'm like, me and Rondo are 26, and then Samaj is 23. So we the young guys, but it's just like it's a good mix. Like, you know what I'm saying? We laugh, we joke together, we go out together. Like we do a lot of stuff that's together. So like it does make you feel like at home because you got your homeboys, and then even my Israeli teammates, they cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cool as fan. Like we be going out with them sometimes too, or we'll go to a restaurant, chop it up. So like it's a good vibe as far as team wise and stuff like that. It's just, you know. Yeah.
Well, we're glad you got into a good situation.
Yeah,
but as we kind of wrap up, you know, what's some advice that you would give maybe some guy who's kind of going through it? You know, after Montana, I think it was, you kind of went through it. Yeah. And actually, even after Stephen F. Austin, you went through it again, and you were like, that open gym really sparked it. So what's your advice to someone who's going through it and maybe thinking about stopping their basketball career?
I mean, man, like, you can't, like, because, like, even at that point in my life, like, I came too far. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about y'all, but, like, growing up, I had a group of friends. Like, it was probably, like, you would have thought we was a gang. Like, it was, like, 10, 15. We all played sports, though. Most of them played football. You know what I'm saying? A few of us played basketball. But, like, when I look back on that group of friends, it's only two of us still playing. One of them play football overseas, and my boy 10, and it's me. You know what I'm saying? And then out of my high school, like the guys that, like the big three that I had, like my point guard, my guard, like they're all still playing, but like, you know, like they had to get it out the mud in a different way just because of based off like my college career that I could have easily been where they at, but I didn't give up. So like you can't give up because like, you know, I don't know if y'all ever seen that picture of like the dude that stopped knocking down the wall. Yeah. And he was right there. Like, you don't never know when you about to hit gold. You know what I'm saying? Even me, like, I can give up today. What if gold is right after this year? What if it's next month? So it's like, you always got to believe in that. And like, you know, like I would like to say like your people, your mother, your father, whoever raised you did not raise no quitter. You know what I'm saying? And if you quit in this, like, what you think you gonna do when you have a job, 9 to 5, or you a CEO, or you a manager, and shit get hard? You gonna quit. So it's just like, this is like for life. Because I mean, I'm not gonna play basketball for the rest of my life, but I'm gonna be able to be a part of a team. I'm gonna be able to not to quit. I'm gonna be able to keep going. So like, that's my biggest advice. Is just like, it do get hard. You will be lonely. You will have days that you don't want to do this, but that's a part of it. Like, if it was easy, you would be doing it. You would be doing it. I'll be doing it. The people out there will be doing it. Because, like, who don't want to play sports for a living? You know what I'm saying? Like, who don't want to get paid doing something you used to do at recess? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a blessing in disguise, and you got to know, like, everything good comes with, like, hardship. Like, you know, and God gives his toughest battles to his toughest soldiers. So, you know, that's just one thing I believe. And, you know, I ain't trying to get all spiritual and stuff like that. But, yeah, man, you can't just give up because you might be just right there and you just having a bad day or a bad week because those don't last long. Bad days and bad weeks, even a bad game, it only lasts 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? A bad day only lasts 24 hours. So, yeah.
Facts, as well said.
Sure.
I mean, that picture that you painted, you know, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know the picture, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's right there by the diamonds, and he stopped. He just started walking back. Like, why you give up?
It's like, fuck.
You got to keep going. You about to strike it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
yeah.
as we wrap up, every single episode, we do a shot clock segment.
Okay.
We're going to go rapid fire questions.
All right,
you know?
What the questions about? What the questions
You could say pass anything. You're going to be surprised.
You want to go first or me?
Sure, I'll go first.
All right. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Shawarma or falafel?
Ooh. Shawarma, I think.
Favorite Hebrew word?
Shababa.
Mountains or beaches?
Beaches.
Night out or night in?
Night out.
Dream job growing up?
Ooh, I think it was gonna be NFL player or NBA player, but you know, I kind of
Coffee or tea?
T.
Warm up song.
Ooh, I Like It by DeBarge.
Good shit. Good shit. Good shit.
There we go. Well, that's the Baseline podcast. You know,
For
thank
sure.
you so much for coming on.
Man,
really
thank
appreciate
you for
it.
having me, bro. Appreciate y'all, man. For real, for real.